Millions of Americans are currently discussing the possibility of a new $2,000 federal stimulus payment in 2026. Online searches and social media are buzzing with questions about who would qualify, when payments might arrive, and whether this is a real program or just speculation. Understanding the facts versus rumors is essential, especially since misinformation about federal payments can lead to scams, confusion, or financial misplanning. It's important to focus on what has been confirmed by official sources, what remains a proposal, and what steps Americans can take to prepare for potential developments. The first thing to understand is that, as of early 2026, no federal $2,000 stimulus payment has been authorized or approved by Congress. While the idea is circulating widely, it remains a proposal discussed in political circles and public statements. The Internal Revenue Service has not issued guidance, payment schedules, or official announcements regarding any new nationwide stimulus checks for the general population. The last round of economic impact payments was tied to the 2021 Recovery Rebate Credit, and no continuation of those programs has been legislated. The $2,000 figure stems primarily from discussions around a concept called a tariff dividend, a proposal that has been revived in public remarks by former President Donald Trump and some of his advisors. The idea is that revenue collected from tariffs on imported goods could be returned to U.S. taxpayers in the form of a rebate, potentially in amounts like $2,000 per person for qualifying households. However, this proposal is still in the discussion stage and has not been converted into law. It requires congressional authorization, budget approval, and coordination with the Treasury and IRS before it could become an actual program. A tariff dividend, as described by proponents, would function as a return of revenue collected from trade duties to citizens. Advocates argue that this would redistribute funds collected from imports back to American households, providing a direct financial boost. Opponents note that total tariff revenue is far lower than what would be needed to fund universal $2,000 payments to all Americans. Analysts estimate that even under optimistic revenue assumptions, the program would cover only a portion of the population, without additional funding mechanisms. Political and legal factors make the timing of such a payment uncertain. Tariff revenues themselves are subject to ongoing legal challenges, and changes in trade policy could alter the projected amounts available for a dividend. Furthermore, Congress must pass a law specifying eligibility, payment amounts, and the mechanism for distribution. Without that legislative approval, neither the Treasury Department nor the IRS has the authority to issue direct payments. Many online rumors about stimulus amounts, including $2,000, $1,500, or even $3,000, are based on misinterpretation of previous programs or social media speculation. Some posts conflate state-level rebates, tax refunds, or the Alaska Permanent Fund dividend with federal stimulus checks. These claims are often misleading and can encourage individuals to fall for scams asking for personal or banking information. The IRS has consistently warned taxpayers that it does not contact individuals via text, email, or social media to initiate stimulus payments. At present, Americans should consider that any $2,000 stimulus payments for 2026 are purely potential and contingent on legislative approval. Discussion around such payments is active in political and economic media, but no official schedule exists. The timeline sometimes cited, such as toward the end of the year, reflects hopeful projections, not guarantees. Legislative processes typically involve months of debate, committee hearings, budget scoring, and reconciliation, before any payments could be authorized. It is important to differentiate between these potential stimulus payments and routine IRS refunds or tax credits. Many taxpayers receive refunds ranging from $1,000 to $2,500 or more when filing their tax returns due to overwithholding or refundable tax credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit. These refunds are not stimulus checks, though they may be mischaracterized as such online. The key difference is that IRS refunds are based on your personal tax filings, while stimulus checks are typically direct payments authorized by federal law and distributed regardless of recent tax overpayment. Some targeted payments do exist, but they are limited in scope and population. For example, certain bonus payments to active duty military personnel, reservists, and veterans are authorized through separate appropriations. These include payments like special duty or bonus pay, sometimes referred to as warrior dividends in news reporting. However, these payments affect specific groups and are not related to universal $2,000 stimulus programs for the general population. Americans should be cautious about social media and online posts claiming immediate $2,000 checks. Many of these are scams designed to collect banking information, Social Security numbers, or other personal data. Trust only official sources such as IRS.gov, Treasury.gov, or WhiteHouse.gov for verified information. No legitimate federal program will solicit sensitive data via unsolicited messages. If Congress does pass a stimulus program, eligibility criteria will be clearly defined in legislation. Proposals have included exclusions for high-income households, with payments targeted toward middle and lower-income families. Any official announcement would specify income thresholds, qualifying individuals, payment amounts, and distribution timelines. Until then, rumors remain speculative. In addition to federal discussions, some states occasionally offer their own rebates or direct payments to residents. These programs are independent of federal stimulus initiatives and have their own eligibility rules, amounts, and application processes. Residents should check official state websites to determine if any state-level payments are available, rather than relying on national news reports or social media posts. Economists have noted that large stimulus payments can boost consumer spending temporarily, but also carry potential inflationary consequences. If broad $2,000 payments were distributed, the additional money in the economy could create upward pressure on prices, particularly if supply is limited. Policymakers must weigh the benefits of immediate financial support against the potential long-term impact on inflation and the federal deficit. Americans planning finances for 2026 should focus on confirmed income sources, such as wages, Social Security, Medicare benefits, unemployment insurance, and tax credits. Planning around speculative payments is risky and could lead to overspending or misallocated resources. Verified payments should always be prioritized for household budgeting and expense management. Social Security recipients will continue receiving their regular benefits according to existing schedules, and these payments are unaffected by stimulus rumors. Direct deposit remains the most reliable way to receive Social Security, while paper checks may experience minor delays due to postal processing. Beneficiaries should monitor the My Social Security portal for accurate information on deposit dates and amounts. It is also worth noting that early January 2026 is the start of a new fiscal cycle, and any federal stimulus initiative would require careful coordination with the IRS for direct deposit and tax reporting. Preparing for potential distribution mechanisms, should a program pass, involves ensuring accurate tax records, correct banking information, and updated personal details. Dual recipients, such as individuals receiving both Social Security and SSI, should understand that any stimulus payments would be coordinated in a specific sequence if approved. SSI payments are typically issued at the start of the month, while Social Security payments follow a birth date-based schedule. New federal rebates, if enacted, would likely be distributed via the IRS using information from tax filings or Social Security records. Because the $2,000 stimulus is tied to proposals rather than enacted law, there is no timeline guarantee. Political statements may suggest an end-of-year payment, but legislative hurdles, budget constraints, and legal reviews make precise dates uncertain. Even if a plan is authorized, distribution may take several months to reach all eligible recipients. The discussion around stimulus payments is part of a broader economic conversation. Policymakers, economists, and trade analysts are evaluating the impacts of tariffs, federal deficits, inflation, and consumer spending. Any tariff dividend or rebate program must be carefully designed to balance support for households with fiscal responsibility. Americans should monitor credible economic news sources to stay informed about potential developments. In conclusion, $2,000 stimulus payments in 2026 remain a proposal under discussion. No law has been enacted, no IRS schedule has been published, and no payment mechanism has been officially established. While the concept is widely discussed in political and social media circles, Americans should focus on confirmed sources of income, verified tax credits, and official government updates. Avoid relying on social media claims or unverified messages promising immediate payments. Staying informed through official channels such as IRS.gov, WhiteHouse.gov, and trusted news outlets ensures Americans are prepared for any legitimate programs and protected from scams. Any approved stimulus payments would be widely announced, with clear instructions on eligibility, amounts, and timing. Until such payments are authorized, Americans can plan their finances based on reliable income, maintain up-to-date tax records, and monitor government updates for developments regarding potential federal rebates. Understanding the difference between speculation, political proposals, and law is critical to avoiding misinformation and ensuring financial stability in 2026. The $2,000 stimulus rumors highlight the importance of separating speculation from verified information. While discussions continue, Americans should prioritize confirmed benefits, tax credits, and personal financial management. Monitoring official updates ensures households are informed, secure, and ready to respond when and if new programs are implemented.